Welcome, 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 everybody, to Sip and Chat with T. Lynn. I am so excited tonight. I'm going to be honest, I'm excited every Thursday night to come before you guys and bring some of my amazing, amazing friends to share information on their journeys to becoming and living in their authentic purpose. Tonight, I am truly honored, truly honored to have the guest that I'm about to bring on. She is joining us all the way from Sydney, Australia. And let me tell you, it's a whole different day there, y'all. But I'm excited to have her. She's making some wonderful moves in the community. She's teaching self-leadership and so much more. She has some amazing talks and networking events that she does. And I'm super excited to jump into this conversation with her tonight. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you guys my new friend, Miss Ela Staniak Leaupepe. Welcome, Ella.
Yay! Hi, Dylan. Thank you so much for your kind introduction. I am so excited to be here with you tonight and talking about what we are passionate about.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And we have had an amazing conversation before. And I love your spirit. I love your energy. And I could not wait for our conversation for sure. So without holding up our wonderful conversation, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I would love to. Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Ela. I work in the business of women empowerment. My business is called Feminine Leaders. I moved from Poland to Australia, Sydney, Australia, over 10 years ago. And this was such eye-opening experience. So pretty much for the last 10 years, I've always been passionate about empowering women, first in fitness industry, then wellness coaching. And throughout my journey, I have had a few different vehicles which I used to help women first transform their health and well-being. But truly, I've always been passionate in inspiring self-love, confidence, and now self-leadership.
Yes.
I was on my own personal journey to gaining ultimate state of empowerment, and through a combination of my own personal experience and studying behavioral psychology, thought processes, things like intuition, intuitive coaching, even hypnotherapy, I stepped into my own power, and I am now able to share this experience and teaching tools with others through empowering women's events, through personal and professional development programs. And I also work in space of corporate coaching now. So it's a super exciting stage of creation for me.
Yes. And that's one of the things that we initially just started bonding over, was just our love for empowering women to live authentic lives, find out who they are, and like rocking it in their purpose. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I absolutely love. So one of the events that you have that I thought was amazing is your networking event. So I know that there is one coming up soon, and I want to make sure that our viewers have an opportunity to join in. So can you share a little bit about the networking event that you have?
Yeah, amazing. I would love to. In the pursuit of my passion to provide women with space of connection, collaboration, support, space of belonging, I do believe that we really stand in our power in that accumulative aspect of connection.
Yes.
I created my own network here in Sydney called Unstoppable Women's Network. But I've got to tell you now, Tilin, we have now taken a few other networking groups around Australia under our wing. So
Mm-hmm.
we actually have over 1,100 members all over Australia in our networking group. So it's not only local
Yes.
Sydney, but it's actually all over the country, which is amazing.
Yes.
I think the event that you are talking about, we literally ran 2 days ago.
Oh no. Okay.
I'll tell you about it anyway. Uh, the theme of the event was about 3 simple ways to awaken your feminine leadership. It was fantastic. We had a lot of fun. It was an online event. Obviously, now in respect to social isolation, we
Right.
wanted to keep things safe, and um, having an opportunity to be online, we can now reach women actually globally. So we had women attending the event from all over the world:
Right.
England, Ireland, Canada, US. Some of them sent a few messages saying, "Can you please record this? It's 2
Mhm.
a.m. in the morning for me." So we
Right.
recorded. So I'm more than happy to share the recording with your viewers. Nothing
Awesome.
was missing in my world. It's all recorded. So of course I would love to.
Absolutely. And so what we'll do is just share once we get off, you can share the link with me and I'll be sure to share it both on well, I'll be sure to share it on my platform so that people will be able to watch as well.
Sure.
But
Thank you so much.
yeah, no, you're absolutely welcome. So we know that this is all about Sip and Chat with T. Lynn is all about authentic journeys. And so when we talk, we know that your brand, you are always teaching self-leadership. And I want to go a step further and say you're right up my alley in the sense that, just like I do wholeness coaching and working with people on becoming their authentic whole self, you're working with people on being authentic through self-leadership. And we all have a story that leads us to where we are and what our message is to get out to the masses. And so tell me and the viewers a little bit about your journey to even understanding what self-leadership is.
Look, I would love to. I agree with you. We all have a story. And I think it's really important that we honor that story. I think
Yeah,
sometimes when we say everybody has a story, I know that there could be a negative connotation to it, but there actually isn't, because our experience is precious, whatever it is.
right.
Um, so to answer 2 parts of your question, self-leadership for me is an ultimate state of taking responsibility for our lives, ultimate state of self-love and honoring and valuing self. It is extreme state of self-discipline and ability to not only make decisions which align with ourselves and our vision, but also executing daily actions to get there. And it is also an awareness of what I call quantum world, which is an awareness of your energy, your emotional state, and how that affects your environment. Lastly, it's an extreme state of self-belief and
Yeah.
loving. And you're right. I also have my own story. As I mentioned earlier, I grew up in Poland, and I must tell you, my upbringing was difficult. I lost my father to a alcohol addiction as a teenager, and I also lost my mother as a teenager. So the first part of childhood definitely had a lot of lessons. Now, at such young age, what I wasn't aware of is that I actually developed really deeply seated lack of self-worth.
Yeah.
As I went on through my life, pretty much
Mhm.
over the next decade after losing my parents, I indulged in series of distracting behaviors, self-sabotaging behaviors. And what I was really doing was distracting myself from feeling what I was really feeling on the inside, not dealing with the pain of loss.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until after I moved to Australia and I was already working in women empowerment space in fitness industry,
Mm-hmm.
the accumulation of not facing my past and not making peace with my past had it really accumulation point in my early 20s where my physical, emotional, and spiritual health started spiraling down. And there was a huge disconnection in between what I wanted to achieve for myself long term, not only in space of fitness and health, but there were dreams that I had. I wanted to have thriving career. I wanted to have overflowing abundance in love relationships. I wanted to have a family somewhere in the future. I wanted to have financial abundance. I wanted to feel good in my body. And unfortunately, I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So even whenever I was achieving great fitness goals or great career goals, as soon as I grasped success, I would lose it. And more importantly, all the achievements and successes that I would achieve, they came from a place of resistance and push, hard work. And ultimately, that was depleting my energy levels.
Yeah.
So I made a decision. I remember in my early 20s, I made a decision that I would do anything it takes, and I would study, and I would just take any action. I would do anything it takes to discover what I must do in order to let go of my past and not be a victim of my circumstance, and feel like I'm in driver's seat, like I was sitting in driver's seat, being in charge of the results that I was producing. And so I did.
Yeah.
Studied, I worked through it. I if there was anything I could do, from mentoring through to alternative medicine, through to even business mentoring, I totally became a student of life. And I must tell you, it took many, many years for me to feel like I actually started healing that space of lack of self-worth and became really loving myself. And it definitely was a roller coaster still of successes and failures. And through overcoming those challenges and serving women more and more, definitely service provided me with huge sense of healing. I developed my own coaching techniques and my own systems to then share that with women in leadership space, and with women in business, and women who actually want to also feel like they are in charge of the results they produce in their career and their personal life.
Yeah. You know, what you listen, I'm not even gonna say what you said, but you've said a lot. But there are so many key things that you mentioned along the way. You're right. There is a point when things do come to a head, like when you realize, and I love the analogy you use, there are times in your life when you're on your journey to discovering who you are, where you have to make the decision, I'm no longer going to ride in the passenger seat. Like, if you're in the passenger seat, you're not in control of what's happening in your life. You're literally letting whoever it is, whatever it is that's driving, take you wherever it wants to go. It let life takes you wherever it wants to take you. But the moment you stop and say, today is the day, this is it, I'm getting in the driver's seat to make moves to control my own destiny, life changes. And don't get me wrong, you're going to go on a journey anyway, because we talk about it all the time. When you're on a spiritual journey and you become your authentic self, you're on the road to becoming who God wants you to be. And what I always say is, you have to believe in something bigger than you. Like, the way life goes, there has to be a belief in something bigger than you. But there is a point that when you are becoming who you are meant to be, you have to get in the driver's seat. You have to say, These are the moves I want to make. This is, and the bigger thing, thank you, it's coming back to me now. It's all come together. Let me bring it together for you guys. The biggest thing is when it comes to your healing, you need to be in the driver's seat. Let's start there. When it comes to your healing, you have to get in control and say, I want to heal. I want to heal. I know that these things happen. I mean, look at your story. It's amazing. You lost both of your parents as a teenager. And so that can be devastating. And it leaves you literally at a point where it's like, what do I do with life? Because those that were here to guide me are no longer available to me. So now what do I do? And so I can imagine how much confusion you went through to even get to 20, where you're like, everything comes to a head. You know what I mean? But you had to get in the driver's seat and say, hey, I want a different life. I don't want to live destructive anymore. This is not working. And so, yeah, we have to get in the driver's seat. When it comes to our healing, we have to take control. Because if not, then the pain is going to take us wherever it wants to take us. And most of the time, it's bad places.
That's right. And I absolutely agree 150% with everything that you said. Something that I often say to women who I work with is this: you cannot have empowerment without taking responsibility. And I know that it's often triggering for some, because when we have difficulty and hardship present in our life, especially if we're talking about a certain pain that was inflicted by other people upon us, we feel like our choice and our power was taken away from us. Therefore, it is not our responsibility to handle that. But what happens in this frame of mind is that we can never move forward from that hardship, and we cannot ever feel like we can gain empowerment. Because if I am a victim of external factors, including people, then I can never jump in driver's seat and move forward away from that.
Yes.
And look, sooner or later, I think most of us, I think majority of us, have something difficult which happens in our life, and more than likely that involves other people.
Right.
And so I don't mean to, when I say this, you cannot have empowerment without taking responsibility, I don't mean to undervalue any difficulty which happens in our life. What I mean by that is that you always have a choice of how you move forward from this situation and what you do with how it affected you and what you're going to do with the lessons which came with it.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good. Yeah. I don't even have a follow-up after that. I'm just like, that's good.
What?
Yeah. It's such a good conversation. I mean, like, I've been so engrossed in what you were saying, because I'm like, all of this is good information, and I hope you guys are getting something out of it, because I know that especially in times like this, there are a lot of people who are walking around hurt, carrying baggage from all the way back to childhood. And listen, it's okay whatever age you're at, right? Like, some people don't get it till they're in their 50s. And it's not to be hard on you, but just know that healing is available regardless of what age you are. You're never too old to heal, no matter how old the wound or the pain is. You can always recover. You can always still do the work. As long as you are living and breathing, there's an opportunity for you to do the work and heal. But the key thing, as Ela said, the key thing is that you participate and be responsible and accountable. At some point, we have to stop blaming other people or giving other people, our control, our power. At some point, we have to take it back and move forward. And I think that's the biggest thing, like in everything that we've said tonight, everything that Ela has shared tonight, the biggest thing is getting in the driver's seat. Like, even just to set and ponder on that for a moment is something that we need to do. Like, in what areas of your life do you literally need to get in the driver's seat? What areas? Like, is it your career? You know, because some people are battling issues because maybe you're not in the career that's actually for you. Maybe you're in a career pattern that just I know our good friend Paul talks about it all the time. He was following the family way and doing what everybody else wanted him to do, but it wasn't bringing him any type of freedom. It wasn't bringing him any type of satisfaction. In fact, it put him in bondage. So maybe it's a career thing. You know, maybe you're just following tradition and you need freedom from that. Maybe it is something where you were going through some painful, you've had a painful childhood or a painful past, and you need to heal from that. There are so many different areas that make us up as a whole that you should be looking at and say, what do I need to do to get in the driver's seat to move forward from this point? And I think that's the biggest lesson that Ela has given us tonight. Are you going to stop letting other people drive, or are you going to be accountable and responsible and get in your own driver's seat? Like, I think I just feel led to just stay there for a second, because I feel like somebody needs that. Like, somebody needs that tonight. And I thank you for sharing that. For sure. I thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I thank you for sharing that. So before we go, because Sip and Chat is not that long, because we don't like to take up a lot of time, and we realize this is a precious part of the evening for most people, how can people get in contact with you if they want to connect for the networking event, or they want to, you know, find out what other events you have going on? Because I saw something amazing on your timeline earlier today, where you're participating in the TEDx. So I thought that was amazing. But if people want to follow you and tap into the work you're doing, how can they get in contact with you?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lynn. And I'm truly blessed to have this opportunity to speak to you, as always, tonight. Well, this morning for me.
Yes.
Yes, it's super exciting. Next month in November, I'll be speaking at a local Northern Ireland event, Londonderry, about cultural diversity and inclusion. I'm really excited about that. And also, I'll be speaking about 3 ways to awaken self-leadership at women's conference organized by a amazing organization that's in England. The easiest way to get in touch would be either jump on my website, www.feminineleaders.co, co at the end, or you can jump on LinkedIn, and all the links to so many free events that I am participating in. I love providing values. There are always free events or even low ticket events that provide great value for people. Everything is on LinkedIn and my Instagram. Awesome. So if you just use my name and surname, you can find me there. And also my website's got get in touch form, so you can just book a short half an hour self-leadership accelerator call with me. So hopefully I can, first of all, localize what is that true root cause of your disempowerment in one area of your life. And I will help you in that call. Once you know what it is, you can actually accelerate and move forward away from it. So if that's something that helps your viewers, just go ahead and book it through my website. Thanks for popping it on your screen.
You're so very welcome, darling. Awesome sauce. I'm telling you, she's someone that you want to connect with. I'm so excited for you. I'm so honored to have you. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I certainly appreciate it. But is there anything else before we close out that you would like to, that's on your heart, that you just want to share with the viewers before you go?
Definitely. I think Thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor, Lynn. I just want to say this. Look, I know that as a society now, we go through a very difficult time. I just want to inject hope now for everybody who is listening, and to let you know that we as a society have overcome hardship for many, many, many centuries. And so I want to remind you that you are the one and only CEO of your life. So direct the focus now towards you and your future, and forget about anything that is happening around you, and give yourself a moment today to focus on what is it that you truly need to accelerate into your future.
I love it. Well said. Well, I thank you so much, Ela. Look, I got so excited about our conversation. I never asked you what you were sipping on for our sipping chat tonight. I sipped on my tea a little bit, but
I was sipping on my coffee so heavily that I finished before our chat.
hey, it happens. It happens. So you had your morning coffee and I had my evening tea. I cannot close out this session without first saying thank you so much to Mr. Paul Rogers for introducing us. So grateful to you, Paul. You are a gem, and I thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Ela, for joining us this evening and this morning. It has been such a pleasure speaking with you. Remember, guys, to follow us at recognizingtherealme.com. Go check out the blog. There's something there for you. Look out, because I will be sharing some of Ela's contact information as well as some of her upcoming events. As you remember, you can always reach out to her today at feminineleaders.co. If you want to link up with her, get coaching from her, remember she's virtual now, y'all. So regardless of where you are, she does do personal and corporate coaching. So make sure you check her out. And with that being said, the biggest thing I'm going to leave you with is what she said the best, and what has been sticking to my guts, my ribs rather, the whole time, which is get in the driver's seat of your life. Stop riding in the passenger seat. Get in the driver's seat of your life and go do what you were meant to do and who you were meant to be. Remember, today is a great day to make a difference in the lives of those around you. I'm Lynn Tate, and this has been Sip and Chat with Lynn. Have a safe and wonderful week, you guys, and I will see you next week.